everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this week's video we're talking about statement coats, what to look for when you're buying your first one and how to match the colours. I hope everyone's had a lovely week. If you're new here, my name is Alarna and I'm a fashion stylist and image consultant based here in Sydney, Australia. I wanted to talk about statement coats because I absolutely love wearing coats. It might be because I'm from Australia and we don't get a really full winter. We get kind of a bit more of a light winter, I guess, compared to some other countries. But when it comes to coats, we don't just have options of black, grey and beige. We've got plenty of other colours out there. And I know for many of us, our first coat purchases are often those neutral colours. But every now and then, particularly if you live in a climate where you don't get to experience much of winter, you find a coat that's in a bold colour and you want to work that into your wardrobe, but you don't want it to go to waste and just sit there and only be worn in a few ways. So in this video today, I wanted to talk about what to look for when you're buying your very first statement coat or your next statement coat, and how to mix and match and play around with colours a little bit more in ways you might not have tried before. So when you're choosing your first statement coat, I would look at the colours that you wear the most in your wardrobe first and then pick a colour that's going to pair well with those. If you already wear things like denim blues and neutrals and blacks and things like that, you do have a lot of options. But if you find that your wardrobe is primarily one or two colours, perhaps you need to think about what's going to work better with those pieces rather than going and purchasing a colour that is really out there and super different to the rest of your clothing. You want to make sure that whatever coat you end up buying is something you're going to get a lot of use out of. And so you don't want to have to think too much about how you can mix and match it, particularly if you only have a really small portion of your wardrobe that's going to work with it. The other thing to think about is the weight of your coat. I think it's important to choose a weight that you'll regularly wear, particularly if you like to do things like layer up with knitwear and you want to be able to wear that coat over the top of it. You don't want to be feeling sweating within like half an hour of putting your coat on. I think it's important to pick a weight that works for your climate. I know for me here in Sydney, it maybe got to around about 6 or 7 degrees leaving for work in the morning, and that's really cold for me, but it's not to a level where I'm kind of gearing up with lots of down in my coat or anything like that. It's still a lighter coat option. It still has lining and things like that, but I do pick lighter weight coats so that I know I can wear them more often. I can layer them up if I want to, if it is really cold, but I can also wear it to work all day with clients out shopping and I'm not feeling super sweaty like I want to take off my coat all the time. When you're choosing your statement coat, I think it's important to still look at the fabric. Just because these are statement coats and they might be perhaps one of those more out there pieces, I think it's still important to look at quality. So make sure you're picking a really nice natural fabric. Wool is fantastic. It's the king and queen of winter fabrics. It still provides breathability and it keeps you warm. It's also one of those fabrics that will last a long time and it tends to drape well on the body. And what about matching colours? So you don't just have black to match with a statement coat. We've got so many other options out there regardless of which colour you go for. I want to run through a few different ways you can mix and match, and I also want to show you a sneaky little tool that I use sometimes when I'm trying to come up with new colour pairing ideas. And I hope you guys really enjoy this segment because you can take this and also apply it to other parts of your wardrobe, whether it's other types of coats and jackets, pants, skirts, or maybe you have a dress or a scarf in a colour that you struggle to match with. Use these tools and this kind of method to try and find things that you can mix and match with at home. So you can always start by matching with neutrals, and I've pulled up a few images here. These images are just from Pinterest, and if you guys are interested in looking at more statement coat ideas, I put together an entire Pinterest board all on winter coats, and there are so many statement coats in there, so I hope you guys dig through that and enjoy it. I'll leave the link to that in the description down below. So when you're styling with neutrals, of course you can use denim blues, whites, light soft beiges, sand tones, charcoals, greys and navies. Those are colours that are going to work really well with most things. I think as long as you are kind of putting a difference between hues a little bit, so if you have a blue coat, perhaps the blue is a little bit different to the blue in your jeans, I think it'll work really nicely together. Another way you can mix and match is by contrasting. So contrasting, or sometimes these are also called complementary colours, these are colours that are complete opposites on the colour wheel. If you don't have a colour wheel at home, you can Google a colour wheel. There are plenty of pictures of them online. This particular one I've got shows all the different colorways you can put colors together. So you might have a color like red and green, and that to some people might appear a little bit too Christmassy. Just remember, you can always do darker versions of these colors. They don't have to be the really primary versions of those tones. Other colors that often pair well together are things like oranges and blues, or browns and blues. Anything kind of in that brown, orange, and like kind of yellow warm family pair really well with things like blues and purples. Another way you can mix and match with your statement coat is by pairing harmonious colors, and these are colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. So it could be something like orange and yellow, it could be something like violet and red, it could be greens and blues. There is that old wives' tale of blue and green should never be seen unless there's a color in between, but I call BS on that. I think you can absolutely wear those two colors together. Try and play around with some of those harmonious color schemes. They are quite calming and they're really nice colors to wear together. Now I want to show you this little tool I use to help me come up with some cool color schemes of how to mix and match, and sometimes this is great if I've got a piece in my wardrobe and I've maybe styled it a certain way for a long time and I'm just trying to come up with some new colors I can wear with it. And often I can actually use this and then I find some colors similar to it in my wardrobe, and I've made a new outfit using colors I wouldn't normally pair together. So this website is called Coolers. I will leave a link to that in the description down below for you guys to check out. And what it is, it's a color scheme generating tool, and you can actually make it do color schemes that are contrasting. You can make them do color schemes that are split complementary. So you can really play around with how the colors are going to go together. But you can also pick a color that you might already have in your wardrobe and then ask it to come up with color schemes around that. So as always, I've put together a series of looks for you guys today, and let's jump into the first look. So my first look is a big hot pink coat. I wore it with a pair of high-waisted light blue jeans. I had a blue and white stripy long sleeve top on, and I tucked that into my jeans just to create a really nice long line through my body. And then I put on a nude shoe and a matching nude handbag. And I find sometimes just matching a shoe to a bag or a shoe to a belt can help bring an outfit together. When it came to this particular outfit, I did find having items tucked in with it, because it was such a big long coat, made it work really well with my figure, and it didn't kind of swamp me or shorten me. For you, when you're trying on a statement coat, if it is quite a big voluminous one, try either wearing something fitted underneath it or try tucking something into it and creating a really nice long line for your body. So for this outfit, I wore a really nice dark deep green military coat, and this one is like a mid-length coat. It almost touches my ankles. I put it on with the same pair of light blue high-waisted jeans. I tucked in a lighter caramel toned jumper that's got a bit of a turtleneck on it, and then I matched in a leopard print belt. For the shoes, I decided to go with a brown ankle boot, and if you guys have missed my recent brown ankle boot styling video, I'll leave a link to that in the description below for you guys to check out. For look 3, I wore a red shorter coat, and you've seen this coat quite a bit on my channel if you've been here for a while. I've also paired it with a pair of plum high-waisted cropped trousers, and I just toned down that color pairing with a little bit of grey, and I matched in a red shoe to my coat. I hope you guys liked this week's video about statement coats. If you did like it, please click like and please click subscribe. Now, if you want to build your own sense of style and you want to build some beautiful color schemes around that, I actually wrote a book that's going to help you start on your sense of style, plan it out, pick pieces for your wardrobe, make sure they fit really well, and care for your wardrobe. So I've actually got that book. I've got a sample for that down below. If you want to check that out, I'll leave that in the description for you. I look forward to seeing you guys next week for another video.